Hey guys, it's Mr. Rysz here, and I'm going to help you guys out with the second part of P2, Pre-Calculus 2. So this section here, it's going to be pretty short and simple because we're just looking at parallel and perpendicular lines. So the slope of the line is a convenient tool for determining whether the two lines are parallel or perpendicular. Parallel lines, if we go in the same direction because their slopes are the same. Perpendicular lines cross and intersect each other at 90-degree angle because their slopes are opposite reciprocals. And hopefully you guys remember that means you flip and switch them. They're flip and switches. So if the one slope is 2/3, the other slope is going to be the flip of that, 3/2, but also negative 3/2. Alrighty. So if we had to go through one of these problems here, and this is what you guys will see because it's kind of nice and neat to put it all together like this, is if we want to find the equation of the line that passes the point 2, -1, that's parallel to this equation and also perpendicular to that one, we're going to have to split it up. The first thing that we want to do is to find the slope of this equation here. So I'm going to get the y by itself. So, okay, we get -3y equals -2x plus 5. And so that means the equation here, y equals, if I divide by -3, that'd be a positive 2/3 x, and then minus 5/3. So the one thing about the slope is 2/3. So let's go through these problems here and find the parallel one and the perpendicular one. So problem A, if we want it to be parallel, we want it to go through the point 2, -1 at the beginning of the problem here. And the parallel slope would equal the same thing as the regular slope, 2/3. So using y equals mx plus b, y is -1, m is 2/3, x is 2. We're going to solve for b. So we multiply, that'd be 4/3. And if I subtract 4/3 over, so I'll take it away from 1 or 3/3, that would be a -7/3. So the equation that would be parallel and go through that point would be y equals 2/3 x minus 7/3. And then lastly here, b. If I want it to be perpendicular, well, it's still going to go through the same point, 2, -1, and the perpendicular slope would be the flip and switch of this. So it would be flipping it 3/2 and switching the sign, -3/2. So still doing y equals mx plus b. We have the same x and y, so we got -1 equals, now m would be -3/2. X is 2 plus b. So let's see, -3/2 times 2 would just be -3. Add 3 over, we would get 2. So we get y equals -3/2x plus 2 for that perpendicular one. It's not too bad, just still using y equals mx plus b. We just have to use some information to find it out. All right, clear all my drawings. Let's see, is there anything else here? Nope. All right, so let's just double check that CYU since you guys have had some problem, or I've had the problems. You guys have just kind of been noticing this here. The audio wasn't recording, and I'm just double checking. It is recording on my view here. So let's check out this last CYU, see if there's any difficult problems that you guys might struggle with, just to give you guys some help. So P2 CYU 2, Friday the 18th it is due. So let's preview this problem. All right, ooh, okay, so we got slopes that we don't know. Maybe we'll do one of those. That should be fine. You guys know those 2 points. Parallel, perpendicular, we just went over that. Parallel, perpendicular, it should be fine. Story problem and collinear. Okay, so maybe we'll do like 3 practice problems. Let's do this one here. All right, so we got a point of the line here. And let's go through this. Let me draw. Okay, we got a point which gives us our x and y, but we don't know, well, the y-intercept is at a, which isn't a number, but the x-intercept. So we can use this to find the slope by remembering that we could take y2 minus y1, so a minus 0 over x2 minus x1, 0 minus a. And we'd get an a over -a. Now, no matter what the number is, you know, if this is at 5, 0, that's at 0, 5, or 6, 0, that's at 0, 6, we're always going to get the same 2 numbers on the top and bottom, except for one's going to be negative. So the slope is always going to be -1. Now that we know that, we can do y equals mx plus b, use our x and y here, and figure out, okay, 4 would equal, our slope is -1, x is -3. We're going to solve for b. So we get 4 equals 3 plus b, subtract 3 over, we get b is 1. So our y is -1, or m is -1, and our x is +1, or b is +1. So next, let's look at a story problem here. Oh, they're basically the same thing. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Let's go through it. You're given the dollar value of a product in 2012 and the rate at which the value of the product is determined to change over the next 5 years. Write the linear equation that gives the dollar value of the product turn. All right, so you know what? I need to double check that I did this correctly. I might have just put in the answer here. I think this one would be next 5 years. Let me pause the video here and double check my answers on Canvas. Okay, just noticed a word I forgot to put. So you're given the dollar value of the product in 2012 at the rate at which the value of the product expected to change each year during the next 5 years. Okay, so write a linear equation that gives the dollar value V in the product in terms of years T. Okay, so every year we are expecting this to increase $250 per year. Oh, it says it right there, but and the 2012 value was at $850. So the one thing to remember here that T sub 0 equals 2010. That's our starting point. Well, actually, let's do the easy part first. If we know that we're increasing at 250 per year, our slope would be 250. Okay, now if it was decreasing, it would be a -250, but it's increased. So every year it's 250. What we have to do is figure out, this is our starting point, our y-intercept. Well, if 2010 was the starting point here, and we're in 2012, we got to go 2 years backwards. So if it's 850 in 2012, we could subtract 250 to get 2011 and subtract another 250, or subtract 500 total and get our starting value in 2010. So we can use that to estimate, you know, plug in 10 to figure out what the 2020 value would be. Okay, clear. All right, and then the last problem here, collinear. Well, this is multiple choice, so if you get it wrong, you can retake it. Collinear means there are 3 points all in the same line, so you can plot those points on Desmos. Or the one thing you could check too is see if the slope between the first 2 points is the same as the slope for the next 2 points. If they have the same slope, that means all the same points are going in the same direction. They would be collinear points. Okay, hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to always email me or reach out, ask questions in class or during the Zoom sessions on Monday. All right, you guys have a great day. I'll see you again.